I don't think we truly understand what is involved when we decide to become an actor. Driven by our rich, creative imaginations and a desire for opportunities to act, oftentimes we lose sight of what being an actor actually means. We shouldn't let our dreams of being an actor preclude us from understanding those difficult things that need to be addressed. The stresses and unknown variables that can exist actually play no part in our dreams. Today, we'll discuss the bigger picture when choosing to be an actor and hopefully appreciate the actor factor. This is Casting Actors Cast, the podcast and videos for actors from a casting director.
This is Casting Actors Cast. Here's your host, Jeffrey Dreisbach.
Well, hello, and welcome to today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. I'm a casting partner with McCorkle Casting. My name is Jeffrey Dreisbach. Welcome to this episode. I hope you're having a good day. I'm excited to be sharing this episode with you today with great appreciation for those of you who have sent me emails of thanks and gratitude, especially over the past few episodes. It's been extremely gratifying, so thank you so much. I also want to give my shout out to my friends at Actors Connection. Tony and Colleen, hello. I hope you're doing good. Listen, if you haven't checked out Actors Connection recently, I ask you to do so. Here's why. They've got some new programming, some new classes, actually some stuff I'm going to be involved with, and so I would love to see you there. So do check out actorsconnection.com/New York. Finally, I just want to say that if you've gotten anything out of these podcasts, it would mean so very much to me that you do a couple of things. One is check out our website, castingactorscast, all one word, .com. There you're going to find all kinds of cool information about the podcast, but additionally, there's a form there that says dive into the talent pool. If you do that, it's going to open up some free things for you. One is a book on doing voiceover work called Conversation Pieces Out of the Studio, the voiceover workshop for professional actors. It's a 100-page PDF. It's absolutely free. Additionally, there's a video that you can check out as well called Casting Secrets, What They Don't Tell You. But guess what? This is a free private video just for those of you who sign up. By the way, when I say sign up, I mean you just give me your name and your email address. I don't do anything with that. I don't spam you. I might on occasion send out an announcement about an upcoming podcast or something like that. But like I've said in the past, I don't chew up your bandwidth, okay? So anyway, that's what's happening. The other thing is if you could leave a like, a share, if you could give a review, especially on Apple iTunes, that ups my ranking and that gets this podcast to more people who are interested in the subject. So it would mean so very much if you've gotten anything out of these podcasts to check out the website, consider giving a thumbs up, a like, a share, maybe a review wherever you get your podcasts. All right, that's it for the shameless promotional announcements. Let's get into the subject. You know, it's really interesting when we talk about becoming an actor. I think we lose sight of the fact sometimes of many, many factors, of many things that we forget as we journey forth into what it is being an actor, what it is to jump into being a professional. And I think that we need to kind of stop for a second and just consider some of the factors that have gone into your decision to being an actor. And I think we also need to appreciate what it is that you've done for yourself. Now, if you're in school and you're just in training, this might be the perfect time to get a little bit reflective about some of these things I'm going to share with you now. And if you're a professional working really hard and addressing all of those opportunities that are coming forward, maybe this is a good time for you to also put on the brakes, take a breath, and kind of reflect back on some of these options, what I call the actor factor. And then finally, there are many actors that I'm hearing from that have been away from acting for a while and are deciding to kind of jump back in. This is a perfect time to evaluate that choice. So that's what I call the actor factor. So here are some things to embrace. Here are some things to appreciate as an actor. And I'm going to go through this kind of little bit of a checklist of things. I think you'll get the picture of and the perspective that I'm hoping that you'll get as a result of some of these things I'm going to share with you. I know that a lot of these items were things I needed to hear when I was an actor and then transitioned into being a casting partner with McCorkle Casting in New York. And so let me go through my little checklist of things and see if any of these things are useful for you to think about. One, and these aren't numbered, but I did say one, didn't I? No one has forced us to become an actor. No one held a gun to our head and said, oh my God, you have to act. This is so important for the benefit of all mankind that you get on the stage, that you audition for that movie. You know, we decide to become an actor by choice. We decide to become an actor by desire. And so a wanting to have opportunities to act is something that we choose. And the power of choice here is quite important to embrace. So no one has forced us to become an actor. We do so by choice and desire. Here's another one. The most successful actors that I know as a casting person have a full and rich personal life. That's true. I can't express that enough. Many actors that I meet are so consumed with their actorness. Is that a word? Well, it is now. The most successful actors have a full and rich personal life. Their entire world is not focused on their acting. Their entire world is actually focused on other things that help them become a better human being. It's really interesting to me that we get so consumed with the dream of becoming an actor that we deny ourselves other opportunities to have a full, rich life, like a hobby, like family, like other interests. All of those things can actually contribute to your acting. So when I see a successful actor, and I know many actors that are having really fantastic careers, you ask them, what else are you interested in? And hopefully, if you've asked the right actors, you're going to get an entire list of things that have enriched their lives. So something to think about. If you're so consumed with your actoriness, then please consider opening yourself up and avail yourself, good word, to those other opportunities. Here's another thought. The best actors keep the business separate from the business of acting. In other words, the career trajectory that you find yourself on as an actor, which is really important that you understand how the game is played. You understand agents and managers and casting directors and producers, and you're developing relationships and you're networking. That's business. That's stuff that you should probably embrace as part of who you are as an actor. But then it's important that you separate the actual acting part of your acting from the business. Here's why. When you can separate those two items, there's a tendency to have an entire focus on each of those items separately and apart from. When you start combining those things in your mind, the business of acting and my acting and business, and you can't or don't choose to separate those two things, those muddy waters will reveal themselves in no time at all. So I think the best actors are really able to compartmentalize their career choices and approaches separately from their acting. Their acting is a special creative area of who they are, and they try really hard to keep those items separate. I hope that that's a helpful tip for you. But let's move on as we talk about things that actors do and things that actors think and the choice of becoming an actor. So the actor factor, here's one. Surrounding your talent with structure, then creativity is the best priority to have. Now, I can tell you about this firsthand. When I first started acting, I decided that I was going to just do everything that I possibly could in my acting and my auditionings and just put myself out there and just go. I did not have any real perspective on what the hell I was doing. I just did whatever came to mind. It was sort of the stream of consciousness careerness. And it was really challenging. But then, over some time, and this took me a long time, by the way, that's why I'm happy to and kind of glad that I'm sharing this, is surrounding your talent with structure first. This is a little bit like our last note when we talk about the business of acting, keeping it separate from your talent. But if you surround yourself with structure, in other words, you plot out and you decide how your day is going to go, how your career is going to go, how your plans for success are going to go. When you surround your talent with structure, and then within the structure you allow creativity, I think that is the best priority for yourself. In other words, that's the best way to prioritize the way you approach your career. So simply embracing structure first and then let the creative juices flow on how to achieve that structure. That seems to be, in my view, a very, very healthy approach that I believe will serve you well. Here's another note that I wanted to share. This is another item on the actor factor. No one is successful on their own. That's true. You may be thinking, oh my gosh, this is me. It's all about me. I have to get myself the agent. I have to get myself the audition. I have to get myself on the set on time. It's all about me. I have to provide for my family. I have to whatever, me. But you know what? I have yet to meet an actor who completely achieved the success and said, I did it all myself. I'm beginning to believe that person doesn't even exist. But why is it that we feel the stress of that? We feel it is all on our shoulders, that our career is our fault, good, bad, or indifferent. But if you really take a look at those teachers that have been helpful to you, those mentors that you might have in your life, fellow students or other actors that you might have worked with, all of those people in your world have contributed to your success. And I think it's time to acknowledge that for yourself. I think that's an important actor factor. Here's another one. You are not competing with anyone. See, I think competition is one of those things that are instilled in us at a very young age, when we are very young. And I am not sure that that's a healthy place to be as far as an acting career is concerned. Because you're unique, because your journey is completely separate and apart from anyone else's journey. Even though, sure, there may be similarities. But if you start thinking in terms of comparing what you're doing to others, you can find yourself in a very challenging and difficult position. One is either you feel inferior. The other is that you feel superior, in which case both of those choices are not truthful, and they can cause damage in the long run. So if you're thinking that being competitive is a good driving and motivating factor, I want you to think again. Let's move on from there. And here's another actor factor. Please remember this. An audition is not an event. I've been saying this frequently over the past couple of months now, and I think it's really hit home to a lot of students that I've had opportunities to teach over the past few months. And when I say an audition is not an event, what I'm saying is we set ourselves up when you get an audition. It's like, oh, an audition. We're supposed to be grateful. We're supposed to get prepared. We're supposed to do all of this work. If it's a self-tape, we're supposed to do all of this stuff. But the mistake is happening because you're raising the stakes and making the audition an event. When in truth and when in reality, an audition is a moment in time for a professional actor. Period. End of story. It's not an event. An audition is part of the job description of being an actor. So rethink what happens to you emotionally when an audition comes your way or an opportunity is right in front of you. It's not an event. It's just part and parcel of what it is to being an actor. Here's another one. Trust your training. I think insecurity abounds as part of the makeup of what it is to be an actor. And I think when you can trust your training, that there is a foundation within you now that you do not have to question your ability. You do not have to question your techniques, your approach to auditioning or acting. This is all about you growing. This is all about you having the experiences that make you more comfortable and more confident as time goes forward. So simply relax. Trust your training. You've put a lot into the work of being an actor. Trust that. That is an actor factor I wish more actors would embrace. Here's another one. Genuine interest in others is always the best dynamic for your acting. It's true. When you can invest in really listening to other people, really having genuine conversations that are meaningful and perhaps insightful, those moments are things that can go into your, little bank, your library in your head, because chances are you're going to have opportunities to act those moments later on. So I just, especially in this holiday time and with everything that we've been through, having really solid interest in others is a really, really great practice for you and your acting. Let's move on from there. I've said this before, but I'm going to repeat it again. Your uniqueness will book you acting work, not your sameness. I just did air quotes there for those who are wondering what was going on. Your uniqueness will book you acting work, not your sameness. That's the thing I think that gets lost. People still use the word type, for example. I think that's a mistake. What I'm seeing now in the industry with the film scripts and the television scripts and even the new theater that we're working on right now at McCorkle Casting, the request is coming for a really interesting actor with really good, solid technique. It's never about type. Writers are not writing type anymore. So really understand that. They're writing interesting stories about interesting people in interesting situations. So embrace your uniqueness, and you will find that those roles that you are right for are going to reveal themselves really easily, because that's what we're looking for in casting. That's what you should be looking for in yourself, is your unique self. Here's another thought in terms of the actor factor. Looking for opportunities should be less emotional and more analytical. An audition is part of the job description of being an actor. I said that. But even when you book a job, for example, it's very exciting. It's very, and I'm not certainly don't want you to not jump up and down and do the happy dance and do all the stuff that you should do when you book a job. That's all great. But understand that that's normal. That's a normal course of events. And I love the emotion that you might have, but trying to hang on to that emotional self throughout the entire process of whatever it is that you're getting emotional about is so, in my view, that's just wasted energy. If you can be a little more analytical about it, if you can embrace the fact that this is exactly the way it's supposed to happen, then you're going to find yourself in a place where that extra energy that you've conserved for yourself is going to be well placed in the actual acting part of the work. I hope that makes sense. It makes sense as I'm saying it, but sometimes I'm not sure that I make total and complete sense. So let me know if this has been helpful for you. Listen, I'm not done yet. I have a few more, but I do want to let you know that you can write to me on my email, which is castingactorscast@gmail.com, or you can do it through the website, castingactorscast.com. All right, let's move on to just a couple more. Being uncomfortable, like, for example, during auditions or when you're networking, having a networking opportunity where you're meeting somebody in the business, whatever it is, or whether you find yourself in a brand new environment, please understand and embrace that that is normal. Everyone is so concerned when they are out of their comfort zone, when in fact that out of comfort zone feeling is absolutely normal. And you should really condition yourself to not be in denial of that discomfort. Auditioning is not a normal thing in everyday life, but I don't want you to make it an event, and I don't want you to be dismissive. It's just part of being an actor. And so when you're a little uncomfortable or nervous about auditions, the subtext has to be, oh, I'm exactly where I need to be. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. That's normal. Now, here's the last one I want to share with you. Everything you do on a daily basis is material that you can use in your acting. Everything, every encounter, every relationship, every scenario that you find yourself in is something that you will probably be able to draw on later on in your acting. And that's an actor factor that I just think a lot of us kind of don't remember. We don't hang on to that. I lied. There's a couple more I want to share with you. I'm sorry I'm going on a little late on this podcast, but I love sharing these little anecdotal actor factors. And here are a couple more. The joy of performing is unlike any other experience you will have. As a casting person now, when I see the actor enjoying their acting, there's a subliminal message that's being sent, and that is unlike any experience you will ever have. And so if you continue to look for the joy of performance in your work, if you really enjoy what you're doing while you're doing it, you're going to make all kinds of interesting creative choices, but you're also going to feel so complete and so satisfied. This is the last one, I promise. Even when things seem negative, even when things seem difficult, please remember this: your creativity will not diminish. I don't have to tell you that being an actor has many challenges and many, many painful moments. It really does. But somehow when the pain you may be feeling often pales in comparison to how you would feel if you didn't act. When you think about where you are and where you want to be, honestly, there's no value in beating yourself up. Actually, it's much better to appreciate the actor factor and to use the bigger picture to move you forward. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please let me know. Also know that you can go to the website, castingactorscast.com, pull the show notes down, which lists all of these actor factors. Keep it with you. I think you're going to find it really, really helpful and perhaps valuable. Thanks for listening. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach, and this is Casting Actors Cast.
Thank you for joining Casting Actors Cast. Please don't forget to review, like, and share Casting Actors Cast wherever you get your podcast videos. Thanks! I'm Megan Grace Martinez.